Hey Trey, nice to talk to you one last time this season at least. I guess that's the question now. Do you think do you want your free agent? Of course. Do you want to be back? Do you think you'll be back? Has there been any? I know it's the season just ended, but do you think the coaches and everybody would seem like they're receptive to having you back?
I would love to be back. I love to be a part of this organization. It's been great since I've been here. Just been enjoying Coach T, enjoyed playing with Ben, and it's a first class organization all around. Can't speak for anybody else's opinion, but I will say on record that I love to be back here.
Nick Farabaugh.
Yeah, Trey, as you kind of went through the whole season and you saw this young offensive line kind of develop and go together, what'd you kind of see from a guy like Dan Moore? I know he was on the other side from you, but a guy that ended up starting, I think, 17 games for this team at left tackle, maybe when he wasn't expected to. What'd you see from him as he grew kind of into his role over the year?
It's just been great to see him build a foundation. Just build a foundation on his fundamentals and just the continuous and the steadfast work that he does each week. He doesn't have a small job. He has to go out there and go against some of the premier athletes on these edge rushers week to week. And I feel like he stepped up to that challenge. Just got better week to week, kept his head down and just worked. Wasn't always perfect, wasn't always pretty, but he got the job done. So I definitely think he's something that room could build around.
Brooke Pryor.
Hey, Trey, I think it was last week, Ben did a radio interview and he said that he thinks Kendrick Green will be a great guard. Where do you kind of see Kendrick fitting best, just as you've seen him and his skills? What is it about him that he played center but makes him versatile to potentially be a guard? Where do you kind of see as his true fit?
I know he played guard in college. I think he could play guard. I think he could play center. I think he could do whatever he puts his mind to. It's just about going out there and honing in on your craft day to day. And short.
Noah Strackbean.
Hey, Dre. Excuse me. Hey, Dre. I know there's a lot of uncertainty with the line and probably even more changes coming next season. What gives you hope or makes you believe that you guys can take a step forward next year and, kind of find that success if you're, here like you want to be?
When you're a day after the season, you have so many emotions, so many questions, thoughts, a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of, it's like looking into the fog. You can't really see in front of you. Sometimes you just got to give time a little bit to settle, gather your thoughts, let your emotions settle a little bit and, move some pieces around and figure out what's what. Don't exactly know how to answer that at this exact point in time, but I think that's why the people in personnel are in the position that they are to figure it out.
Chris Adamski.
Trey, now especially now the season's over, you were on the injury report a lot of times for your knee. Was it something that was really bothering you a lot throughout the season, or did it hinder you at all? And is there any off-season surgery or anything like that you may be scheduled for, or anything like that, or is it just bumps and bruises?
Yeah, wear and tear the season, man. When you pushing through stuff, sometimes you need a day or two to get back right. The continuously banging on the season and it catches up to you. But it was able to finish 18 straight, 18 strong. So I think I'm all right.
Nick Farabaugh.
Yeah, Trey, you talked a little bit about Kendrick. He just has to put his head down. Can you? I know you've only been a guard in your career, but can you talk about kind of what's the differences between playing center and guard? The obvious ones, other than just snapping the ball. How hard is it to switch from guard to center? Is that an easy switch, or is that something that's actually pretty hard to do?
I would think that it's something pretty hard to do. It's not something that I could say, one Sunday I'm at guard and then I could just go to center the next week. Definitely something that you had to practice at, something that you had to continuously work on. You command the game. The game doesn't move until you shift the ball. So I feel like that center is a pivotal position, and it's something that you have to, like I said, keep your head down, keep working and honing on your craft. It's not something that you just pick up in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It's something that, it's the monotony of the work, and you keep doing it rep after rep after rep until it becomes natural for you.
Jim Colony.
Yeah, Chris is my son, but thanks, Angela. Hey, Trai, I actually looked up and it looked like you started about half your games when you were a rookie, and then you became a regular starter your second year in the league. Do you remember what it was like when you were a rookie and how long it took to get your footing, and how long did it take for that light to go on where you finally realized that, hey, I can make it in this league, and maybe relate that to what Kendrick and Dan are going through?
Yeah. So my rookie year, I started from the 4th game on. The first 3 games we were doing rotations. A guard who was ahead of me would do two series, and then I would do the following 2 series until I took over after week 4. And I would just say, in relation to my rookie year compared to theirs, it's just a strain, man. And you have to realize it's a long season. These guys are coming from college. You don't have a break. You go straight from the college season to the combine. You go from combine to rookie mini camps to regular OTAs and mini camps. You go from that, then you get a month break. You go straight to training camp. You go from training camp into the season. And in the locker room we talk about something called a wall. A mental wall. Like you literally hit a wall where you can't think straight. You footballed out. You just tired. You're mentally drained. And one thing I can say about both of those guys is that I didn't really see that from them. They came to work every week. They came to work ready to work, and to do what was asked of them. And I think that they're ahead of me at that point, because I do remember hitting the rookie wall at some point. That was a long rookie season, but. I think with those 2 being here, man, they have a bright future.
Chris Adamski.
Hey, Trai, obviously I wasn't in LA or even in Carolina the couple years ago, but life comes at you fast. You're still in your 20s. You were the young guys a couple years ago, but just seeing the perspective of what we saw here this year and what Coach T said this year and some of your teammates even, and part of it was such a young line you had other than yourself on the team. It seemed like you embraced that role. Do you like being that kind of that big brother, father figure, whatever you want to call it, coach type on the field? Even though, like I said, you're a lot younger than me still, but
28 and great, man. That's what I like to say. I embraced it. It was different. It was my first time having to be in a role like that, and it was cool, man. When I was going through what I was going through before I came here, something that was big for me was like, man, I'm going through what I'm going through for a reason, for a purpose. And it's so funny because I came into these little dudes that I was like, man, what is going on in here? And now it's like my little brothers, man. I don't know. It's just different, man. Just being able to see their growth, not only in football but off the field too. Just how they adjusting to the what comes with this life, and just the constant battle between, the ebbs and flows of life. And it's been cool to see, man. It's been cool to watch him develop and grow over the last few months.
Last question, Nick Farabaugh.
Yeah, Trai, kind of going back to the center stuff. I do kind of, when I look at the differences between guard and center, I think hand usage is a big one because you have to use that offhand a lot when you're working at center. How big, for Kendrick, when he goes from guard to center and he has to work that offhand really quickly, how big of an adjustment is that when you're just moving from one to the other? Is that maybe the biggest adjustment outside of just communicating? I mean, that has to be hard to do, right?
I can't really give you a fair analysis because I never played center. I never had a rep at center where I did it in practice, whether I did it in a walkthrough. So I would be unfair to give you any assessment or judgment on something I never did.